Hey there guys, welcome back to ARTFX Studios. This is another lead design video, and today I want to show you how to make this kind of screechy, neuro-ish kind of sound. So that's pretty interesting sound, and guess what? It's really easy to make. It's made in Serum, and I'm gonna turn off the sub layer, turn off this EQ, and I'm gonna turn off all the effects that I've used. And I'm gonna turn this off as well. So, as I said, the sound's really easy to make, and if you know how to make this screechy sound, you know how to make a lot of screechy sounds in Serum. And that's why I want to show you how to do this. Now, the basics of the sound is having one detuned layer and one, well, non-detuned layer. So this is just a static waveform. And it basically consists of a detuned saw. So that one. And then we have just a plain saw underneath it. Those two together create that. I'm using the amp envelope to take off a small part of the attack of the initial first start of the sound. Just taking that slightly out of there just to make sure we're not going to get any clicks, and I don't really like the sound that we get at the start. Can't really hear it anymore because we've done that attack, but I think I thought it sounded good. Now I layered that with the plain saw wave, and those two are both running into filter 1, and that's where all the magic happens. So I'm using a comb H6 Plus. You can use any one of the comb filters basically. They will all give you different results, but they will all result in sort of like screechy sounds. So right off the bat, the comb filter doesn't really do anything. However, I took the resonance and brought it up all the way, so we got fully 100% resonance. That's quite a lot, and you can see it's also moving. I don't know why it's doing that, but it's not that I mind. I'm using a little bit of drive, about 30%, and I'm using the high pass frequency. So I'm going to bypass that modulation. The high pass frequency, what it does is right off the bat, normally if this is all the way up, you get pretty much that same detuned saw wave, except that in the high frequencies it's slightly blurred out. But when we bring that high pass frequency down, you can really hear what's happening. So I'm gonna bring it down to about here. I like that. And then I have LFO number 1, which is this shape, 1/4 measure, so that's the exact same length as that note, controlling the high pass frequency, just to give it a little bit of modulation on it. It's not much, just a slight amount of modulation. The biggest part of this is the cutoff frequency. I've set this to 110 Hertz, and I'm playing a G1. That cutoff frequency is basically what's going to determine the actual pitch of the sound. If I play, for instance, other notes than a G1, so that's G1, let's play an F sharp 1. You see, it doesn't really work. Basically, that G1 note sounds good, but if I go to other notes, they don't really sound good, and that's because I have to tune this knob. So it's currently set to 110 Hertz. I can show you. So you can hear. That one sounds pretty cool as well. That's also cool. Except I'm gonna go back to 110. I like that. I can play around with the pan. I'm not gonna do it on this one. I think it sounds good right off the bat. Now that's basically it for most of the sound. Then I have a flanger, which is just adding a slight bit of modulation on the depth of the flanger. I've set the rate to nothing, to 0, so it's actually not sweeping through the flanger. Instead, it's just set to a particular position, and the depth knob actually controls where we're going to be inside the phaser sweep, or however you want to call it. And I'm controlling that again with the same LFO, so LFO number 1. I'm doing the same thing with the filter, or the phaser, sorry. I have the phaser also set to a rate of nothing, so it's not moving, it's not using the built-in LFO, and I'm controlling the frequency using this same LFO. Just adding some slight additional modulation to it. It's really subtle, but I feel like subtle difference can make a huge difference in the final sound. Then I have a chorus. Not doing too much, it's just slightly blurring things out. I might actually bring the mix down. That's about right. Then I have a compressor, not set to the multiband mode, just a normal compressor. You can copy the settings. It's clipping a little bit in the compressor, but I don't really mind that because we're not clipping on the output. So that's not really that much of a problem. Could bring it down here slightly. And bring it up there. Then I've decided to add a reverb. And that really creates the sort of like ambient sound that you get from it. Without the reverb, it sounds kind of dry. And with that reverb, it really sounds much better. I want to bring the level down slightly because we're going to boost the high frequencies with the last effect, which is the EQ. I'm just boosting the highs with about 4 dB. Really brightening up the sound. And that's about it, actually. I then went in and I added a high pass to it because there's this low kind of sound right at the start that I absolutely don't like. So, took that out. And then I decided to add in just a plain sub underneath it, like that, to give it some weight. You don't have to use the sub if you're gonna layer this on top of a bass sound. Just leave the sub away, just do that. But if you like it, if you want to use this as a solo instrument, put the sub underneath it, and it sounds quite heavy. So I might add some compression after this, but that's about it. Now, as I told you, you can create a lot of different screeches using this technique. I think I actually tweaked the one I just showed you, because this is the one that I had before. Yeah, it sounds slightly different. It's the same setup, but just a slightly different setting on the high pass 6, on the comb. And I also made this one, which I think is more based around a square wave. Yeah, we have the square wave right here. So it sounds quite similar, but it's just with a square. And then I made this one, which I think I used a slightly different wave table for this one. And this one has a more rumbly kind of character. So yeah, there you have it. That's how you can create really interesting screechy kind of sounds that are most likely could be used in in whatever harder electronic music you would use it in, like neurofunk, neurohop, but most likely also in hardstyle or any of those kind of genres, hardcore maybe even. It's up to you. What do you want to do with it? If you like this video, then subscribe to this channel. I'm doing a lot more videos, and if you want to see a particular kind of video, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to do a video about it. Other than that, I hope you liked this video and hope to see you back soon. Peace.